We've seen that Veritone Redact has helped agencies increase the speed in which they can redact files by up to 90%. Manually, our clients have reported to us that it takes approximately 10 man-hours for every 1 hour of video to redact, and through using Veritone Redact, they're able to reduce that by about 2.5 to 3 times on average. Hello, my name is Aviv. The first thing that you'd like to do when you enter the application is simply just upload your files. Again, these files can either be video or audio. For this example, this is just a body cam video. So now that our video is uploaded, we can go ahead and view our file. And as you can see, I have my video player at the center of my screen, as well as I have my 3 timeline bars at the bottom. I have my user-defined region in yellow, which would correlate to any objects or sensitive imagery that I as a user would draw. I have my automatic face detection bar in green, as well as my transcription and audio redaction bar in yellow. To kick off the automatic face detection process, I can simply just start detecting faces, as well as for the audio transcription, I can start transcribing the audio. It is now going to detect faces as well as start transcribing the audio simultaneously while operating in the background. This gives me, as the user, the ability to continue working on my file, find any additional objects, whether it be license plates, ID cards, vehicles, computer screens, etc., for me to redact. Let's assume that this face here is an object that I'd like to redact. I can simply click and drag and create a box around my object. Now I have the ability to track this either forward in time or track it all time. The biggest difference between these two is tracking all time takes into account subsequent and previous frames. The tracking in time capability is essentially pixel tracking. So as our object moves across the screen, our yellow box will stay with our object. So as you can see, now that my face detection process has completed, I now have all the faces that were detected visible for me to review on the right-hand side. I can go in and via the thumbnail, select or deselect the faces that I would like to redact. I can select the faces here. I notice that this is a hand and this is a hand, so I want to leave those unchecked. And as I continue to select my faces, I noticed the automatic face detections are now visible in my head detection bar. For a more granular view, I can simply click into the timestamps to determine if I would like to redact that selected portion. I have the ability to review by simply selecting or deselecting and determining if I would like to redact that face. For audio, all I have to do is simply jump into the audio tab, and now I have a full transcript of every spoken word that is said. If I were to start the video from the beginning, I will notice that the video plays along karaoke style.
Vehicle peacefully with me. Be a man about it.
So can we be a...
Step out peacefully.
No.
Be a man about it.
Right.
And let's deal with the consequences. Or...
At the same time, I notice that my automatic head detection is staying with my subject throughout the entirety of this video, as both the camera as well as my subject is moving. For quicker review, I can simply click into each word and it'll begin playing from that moment on.
Taser.
No, I'm not going to fight you. So I'm just telling you, I will pull over and we'll sleep at
We're done with it.
In order for me to start my audio redactions, I have multiple options. The first option for me is to simply search. So, for example, I know that my subject's name here is Brian. I can simply type his name, and it's now going to show me every time the word Brian has been said in the transcript. I have now the ability to either redact that one instance of the word Brian, or redact every time the word Brian is said. I'm going to select every time the word Brian is said, and we're going to see here that now Brian is blacked out of my transcript. If I were to play this, you'll notice that the word Brian has now been muted.
No, don't touch me.
Out of this vehicle now.
Don't touch me.
To redact larger sections of audio, I can simply click and drag on my transcript to the section that I'd like to redact. Again, I can select to redact this section. It now blacks it out on my transcript, and now that whole section is now muted.
The consequences.
My third option to redact my audio is through a simple timestamp. So if I want to redact from, let's just say 44 to 48 seconds, I can simply select that time. It shows up in my audio transcript bar, as well as my transcription now shows the correlating redacted audio. Now let's say I'm happy with the redactions that I've made to this video. I can now set the level of redactions that I would like on a blur level from 1 to 5, as well as I have the ability to select a black fill redaction for my video. Once I'm happy with my settings, I can simply just redact this file. What it's doing now is it is burning the blur or the black fill onto the video, as well as hard muting the audio. Now that the file is finished redacting, it now lives in this redacted files tab at the very top. And here I have the ability to view my finished product.
Vehicle with me. Be a man about it.
And I can determine if I completed my redactions or if I missed anything. If I missed anything, I can always jump right back into my results tab and continue redacting or unredacting as I see fit. The download button allows me to download my file in an MP4 format, as well as it will automatically give me a chain of custody audit log. On that log, I will have the user who logged in. I will have the action that user committed, the date and timestamp of that action, as well as the digital hash of the video to ensure that no changes have been made to the video.